Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. So we're in my kitchen, okay? And as you can see, I have pulled everything out and put it on the counter. I have some stuff also over here on the counter. I'll show in a minute. But here's the thing, I do a lot of cooking, okay? A lot of cooking. And majority of our meals I make from scratch. So I have a lot of things, right? But the problem is, I don't use all of these things. So, yeah, I don't use them all. And I do know that there are things that I need to get rid of. So, I'm going to grab a bin and all the things that I'm not going to keep, I'm going to put in the bin. And things I am going to keep, I'm going to rearrange them. I've been wanting to reorganize my kitchen for the longest, and I figured why not now? This would be a better time since I'm going through each and every room of my house and decluttering because I need to, right? I definitely need to. So I want to go through and keep the things I'm actually going to keep and the things that I have not touched since I've been here. I've been in this apartment since July of last year. Since I've been here, there are things that I have not used to cook with. So I'm like, I'm not going to keep those things. There's things that I bought that I thought, oh, I'm going to be making all of these different things. I did not make all of these different things. So let me go get the bin and let's get started. So I have two bins. Just in case, I actually have two bins worth of things to get rid of. Now, I think about, if the Most High were to say, I need you to pack up everything that can fit in your car that you're going to need. And I think about outside of clothes, you know, I wouldn't want to buy more dishes. So it's like, well, how can I downsize my dishes to things that I actually use? So let's talk about what I'm going to keep, okay? Um, these bread pans, I have two of them, right? I have two of these. I use these often. I make all of our sandwich bread. I do not buy store-bought sandwich bread. And this pan here I use for making like cornbread and cakes if I want to make a round cake. I use these quite often. So I'm going to keep them. And they're going to go under this cabinet. Next, I am going to keep this. I do, like I said, I make all of our bread, like sandwich bread. I also make homemade tortillas. This thing is wonderful. I found this maybe at Marshall's. Let me tell you something. A lot of stuff I get at Marshall's because it's cheap, but it's also good quality. So this I use quite often. I actually just used this like maybe 3 or 4 days ago. So I'm going to keep this, put it under there, and then I have a set of pots, which are all the same. It came as a set, a three set, a saucepan, and this pan. So again, I use these often, so I'm going to keep them. One thing when it comes to cookware, I don't really have too many duplicates. So one duplicate that I do want to get rid of is uh, I had pans over here on the counter. So I'm keeping this because this is the only big pot that I have that has a lid, and you only need one. I use that for like one pot meals, but I have two of these. Yes, they are different. However, this one came with a smaller size one, and it's pink. A lot of my like cooking utensils and things are pink, same color. So I figure I'll get rid of this one, even though I had this one longer, and I really like this one. This one works just as well. So I'm going to put that in the bin, and this will go under the oven along with this one. And that's all that goes under there. I told myself that I was going to be the cupcake muffin type mom. I think I've used this maybe 3 times since I've bought it. and I've had it maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years. I'm not going to keep it. It's just taking up space because I do not use it often enough. So I can't reason keeping that. This was passed down from my mom. She's had this ever since I was growing up. This is a meatloaf pan. I do use this quite often to make meatloaf. So that's going to stay. This tortilla press, it was great in theory. However, I didn't think about size. I like to make bigger tortillas. This does not help. I have a rolling pin um, that works pretty well. So I'm going to not keep this, but I might end up getting a larger tortilla press. Yeah, I don't make small tortillas. That's not my thing. Okay, I like the big tortillas. So we're going to part with that. Bowls. I'm going to keep all of these simply because I do a lot of baking, bread, cookies, cakes, and these all came as a set. So this, and it came with these two smaller ones. This is a strainer, colander, whatever you want to call it. I use it often, clearly, because I have to strain things. But anyway, I'm going to keep those. And then this is a bunch of different bowls that come in here. Some of them are already in use, I think, in the fridge. So these are also like storage bowls, but they're different sizes. I think there's 4 or 5 altogether. So these I'm definitely going to keep. All right, this set came with a bunch of different sizes. They all came in here. As you can see, I only have the one out because the other ones are in use. So clearly I'm going to keep these. These are really good for storing food. And then I have these meal prep containers. So what happened was I had how many sets come in here? Is it 10? I think 10 came in here. But obviously you can see that I only have like 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 right here because the other 5 are in the refrigerator, and I have stuff that I freeze, like meals that I cook too much of, and I'll put them in the freezer. So these are really good for that. This is also good for meal prepping. I had a blue set of these. However, the problem was when I would put them in the dishwasher, and this is my fault, I would put the lids in the bottom rack when they should probably go on the top because they fly out of the bottom rack and then get into the bottom of the dishwasher where that iron rod is and it gets hot. And I have melted so many lids. So I got rid of my blue set because I had more containers than I had lids. And I only need one set, which is the pink because it matches all my other stuff. These, I have a bunch of these. My mom bought these, and I have these two, and I have some square ones, which I think are all in use in the freezer. I have a very large one, which is in the freezer because it's housing food in there. So these really come in handy because you can put them in the microwave, you can put them in the oven, you can put them in the freezer, and they're dishwasher safe. Come on now. Like, what's better than that? My mom gave me this Pyrex set, like, oh my gosh, I don't know how many years ago. I think I've only used one of them once. So these will be donated. Because, like I said, she bought me those new ones. Like, here's the thing, when my mom buys new things, she will see if I want some of the old things that she has that are like in good condition. And so typically I'll say yes. Same thing with my clothes. So that's one thing that I did not do, was to film me getting rid of clothes because that was a very tedious task. These smoothie shaker bottles donated. I don't use them. typically when I make a smoothie, I put it in the blender and I put it in a cup. I don't just put like milk and protein powder. I always put fruit in my smoothies. So yeah, I don't need these. These were for my son when he was younger. He's had these a long time. He's about to be 8. He does not need these. These are Spider-Man, Spin, and Ghost Spider. He does not need these. These were the square containers, like the circular one that I showed you. So obviously I'm going to keep these. These really do come in handy, especially like when I'm making a sauce or a gravy and I have some left over. This smaller one is really great to put in there. And then also if I'm like cooking something for myself, like when my son is with his dad and there's like a little bit left over, these smaller ones do come in handy. And I can store the food and then put it in the microwave. And it's great. These meal prep. These are smaller than the other ones I have. I'm not sure if I want to keep these. I don't know. I think these came in like packs of 3, and I have some more somewhere, but I think I'm going to use the other containers that I have to start storing and freezing food. Um, I don't think I'm going to keep these. These are going to go in recycling because they're heavily used. So one thing I do is we do keep a recycling bin over by the trash can, and I take it to waste management because it's literally up the street from my house. So, and I dump the recycling. So these are going to go in recycling, which those other bottles can go in recycling too because they're plastic. Yeah, these will go in recycling because again they're heavily used. Those were also passed down from my mom. uh to go coffee mugs, I have 2. I've only ever had 2. This one my mom made for me while I was teaching, so I did have locks at the time. So teaching, educating while locked, hashtag teacher life, and Miss Sexton, my last name, and then future best-selling author because I am an author. I'm not going to plug any of my books, but yeah. So I'm going to keep these. Water bottles. My son has so many water bottles, and I'm debating. I don't think I'm going to keep this one. This one is so worn. Like, look at the scratches. I don't know if you can see the scratches. Look at the bottom. That's going to go into recycling. I'm going to keep this one because this is an insulated water bottle. And I also have a water bottle. I have one that I'm going to keep. Actually, this needs to go in the cabinet. This is my water bottle, and it came with like this thing. So this is great when I take a walk because you can put it in here and it goes around your neck. So I'm going to keep that. Although the straw, will it fit? Barely. I'm not going to force it though. Okay. This, I thought this is cute in theory. It says, pray on it, pray over it, pray through it. I've used it one time and I've had it the better part of like a year. So I'm not going to keep this. I have some mason jars, extra mason jars. I have enough mason jars, and these 2 do not have lids. So this one I need to wash, but this one can be given away. And this one I used for paint, and this was one I was going to keep from like I think tomato sauce was in here. I'm going to throw both of these away. All right, this Pyrex dish I use quite frequently, and it came with a lid, so I'm going to keep these. Also, I have this square one. These were given to me by my mom. I think I bought this one, but she gave me this one and that one. So I use them again frequently. I just use this one. These containers for my son come in handy, especially like, oh my, especially like when I pack his lunch. There's like different compartments. When I pack his lunch, when I pack his snack or things like that, this is for good for sandwiches. So these are going to stay. I used this maybe the last time I used this was probably like a year ago. Um, when my son was in first grade, before he has the stuff now that I use to pack his lunch. So I haven't used this since then, so I'm not going to keep this. Bowls, plates. Listen, these are not plastic. These are made from wheat grass. So I have the plates, I have the bowls, and I also have the matching cups. I love these. They're durable. They can go in the microwave. They can go in the dishwasher. Like, come on now. Now, the one thing I do want to do is all of my utensils are wood. I think I'm going to switch them out and buy the matching utensils, eating utensils for these because I do have like the forks and spoons and stuff. So I am going to switch those out, but these are really, really great to use. I am not the glassware type, the silverware. That's not me. That's not me at all. I don't. We're not. We're not gonna do that. So, and I like I mentioned, I have the matching cups to go with them. So I put those there. These were fun. In theory, I'm not going to keep them. They're cute, but they take up space and we don't use them. They also came with straws. So these are going to go in the donation. And then let me bring you a little closer so you can see my coffee mug collection. So these here are all of my coffee mugs. Oh, well, except for these, obviously keeping these measuring cups. These are all of my coffee mugs. I do I use all of them? Yes, I rotate them out. However, I don't need all of them. And I'm not really sure which ones I do want to keep. I do know for sure this one because it matches the one that my son has. And I do want to keep these two because they match. This is my son's. I do want to keep those because we do use them. And then this one I use often and it came with this little lid. So I'm going to keep that one. And my uncle gave me this one and another one that this one. I think I'm going to keep this one and donate this one. And then we have these are mugs of my son's artwork that he does. My son loves to draw. So I got mugs with it on there from his school. They have a website that the parents log into and you can buy their artwork on different things. So I'm going to keep these two. And I'm going to donate this one and this one. And I'm also going to donate these two. Forever Faithful and Faith Over Fear. I'm going to donate them because I don't need all these coffee mugs. And these containers, I have had these for a long time and I do use them. However, I think I'm going to put these in recycling because these are heavily used. Like this one, you can see how scorched it is on the inside. I'm pretty sure that's not good to keep. And the other one is not as bad, but I'm going to put these in recycling. So I'll put those in the recycling bin in just a second. And then these do come in handy. Love these because if you put like yogurt or something in here, the top twists off and it has like these spoons that go in here. Like it's very convenient. And sometimes my son will have like fruit or something and yogurt for a snack. And I'll just put it in here instead of putting it in the container, just mix it all together already. So it's not like a huge thing. So I'm going to keep these because we use these quite frequently, actually. This one, it's a beautiful day to be a Black woman. I think I'm going to donate this. And in this drawer, we have like straws. These straws do get used. These go with the lids that I bought for the mason jars, which they're all in the refrigerator because I have a water filter on my sink. And so I fill up the mason jars instead of buying bottles of water and we use the straws. These are for like when we drink smoothies and we drink smoothies out of like these cups. Oh, that needs to go there. But I keep one right here by the Keurig to fill it with water. And these are the utensils I was talking about, but I am going to donate these once I get the new ones. And they're great in theory and aesthetically, but I bought them because of aesthetics and because of a video that I saw. And we've used them for a while, but they get damaged pretty easily. So I'm not going to keep that. What else do I have in here? Oh, I need to go through these measuring spoons because I have 3 sets of measuring spoons. However, I don't have all of the spoons for each set. So I'm like, I don't need to keep them if I don't have it. That needs to come out. That goes to a wine bottle. I don't drink. I don't know why I have that in there. Um, these go in. Why? Why must you? Why? Come on. These go in those smoothie bottles. So maybe I won't donate. I won't put those in recycling. I think I'll donate those since and just put each one of these in one. I think that's what I'll do. So I have a complete set of this one. I think maybe I'm missing one. I wonder if I can't find it, I might get rid of it. This one is a complete set. So I will keep, actually, I would donate this one. Let me tell you why. Because the other ones, the pink ones, match all of my other stuff. So and these came on this ring. So I would donate those. And then, yeah, I need to find the other one for this one. Yep, so I have this. And I need to find, is it in the dishwasher? No, because I just cleaned the dishwasher out. So there's nothing in there. Then where would I would have put it? Huh. I'll have to find it. But the other reason I want to keep these is because my measuring cups, they're the same. They came all together. And the bigger cup is in there with my flour. And I think that's it. There's fourth cup, third cup, half cup. Yeah. And so the bigger one, the 1 cup is in there with my flour. I keep it in there because I'm always using it. So I'm going to keep that. This stuff needs to come out. All this stuff needs to come out and go in the recycling. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. Y'all, this is why I'm doing this. This is so ridiculous. This is ridiculous. that I have this stuff like this. Oh, come on. I have like a bunch of stuff in here. And I think I am going to, what I have the silverware in, I'm probably going to take this out and get something more reasonable that will fit in here. But yeah, this stuff all needs to go in the recycling. And I have these spoons. I use these as butter knives. They're wooden. I'm going to switch them out. I use these for my tea, or if I'm drinking like a latte, I'll use these to stir them. Uh, this goes with a cup that I don't have anymore. So this will go in the recycling because I don't need it. Okay. And that's that. All of this will go in recycling. This, I use the container is in the refrigerator because it comes with the actual lid. So these are graters. And so if I'm doing like a lemon zest or orange zest, these are great. I actually have a tool. I used to use this for grating garlic to make it minced, but I actually have a garlic smasher now. So I'm going to keep that there. I have not used this. My mom bought this. It's for tea, but I use my Keurig. I still haven't figured out how to use this. So that's something else I'm going to have to try to figure out. And last thing is I have my cast iron, which I'm clearly going to keep. And I have this cookie sheet, which you can tell it's been used. Okay, we're going to keep that. I'm going to store these under here where my pots are. And then I love pumpkins. I absolutely love pumpkins. So I have this one and I have an orange one, a smaller one. These can go in the oven. Although I really want the ones that can go in the oven and on the stove, that would be great. And the last little bit are things I've washed. So these containers actually had food in them that I dumped out because the food, and one had coffee. I don't know how long that coffee had been in there. I'm not a huge coffee drinker. The Keurig that I have is for my tea. So I emptied that out. I had sugar in this one, which I'm probably going to use one of these. I'm probably going to use this one for the sugar. I'm going to get rid of that one. And I don't know what I'm going to use this one for. I have no idea. I do like these. These are great to put like little sauces in, like ketchup or mustard, especially when I'm packing my son's lunch. They're great for that. They're also good for gnat traps. So put a little apple cider vinegar, some dish soap, and some sugar, and you're good. And that's all I have here. That's all I have for y'all.